Hey, welcome to Ultimate Survival Tips. I'm David. Just back from an awesome day with my best friend, my wife Karen, and super dog Calvin on a local mountain where Karen and I tested and shot photos of some cool survival gear and hung out for the day. Well, today we're going to continue our series looking at all the Gerber Bear Grylls Survival Series knives and tools by looking at the Bear Grylls Fire Starter. We'll look at this tool from every angle and test to see if it's really waterproof and see how it does at getting a fire started with stuff we'll gather in our rain-soaked forest. Okay, let's get started. The Gerber Bear Grylls Fire Starter is a compact, waterproof piece of gear that's essentially two parts, this nice sized striker and this generous fire starter rod. See how much thicker this rod is than the rod that comes with the Bear Grylls Ultimate Survival Knife? Okay, now both pieces are firmly attached to the inside of these multifunction handles and slide together tightly, creating a waterproof container to keep both the striker and the rod dry. To ensure that these halves are not separated and lost, Gerber uses about a foot of paracord that runs through these holes on each end of the tool. And then there's this nice quality friction release slider that easily tightens and loosens. See? The paracord lanyard ends terminate inside the butt end of a Bear Grylls emergency whistle. This pretty much holds the whole thing together. This connection appears at first glance to be permanent, but you guys know me. I'm too curious for my own good sometimes, and after a few minutes I figured out how to open the whistle and release the stock paracord so that I could replace it with a longer piece and wear this baby around my neck. Alright, because this process is a little complicated, I'm not going to cover it in this video, but for your convenience I put together a separate video to show you how to easily replace the paracord on this tool with whatever size paracord you'd like. So check out the video when you get a chance. Oh, and before I forget, the Bear Grylls Fire Starter system also ships with a very helpful and underrated Bear Grylls Priorities of Survival Pocket Guide. Okay, so I measured this tool end to end at about 4.7 inches and about 0.9 inches in diameter. It weighs in at 2.6 ounces or 73.7 grams, so it's not super small. So just a note, if you do replace the stock paracord with a longer length, you may find this fire starter to be a bit bulky to be worn around your neck for extended periods. Okay, now let's talk about the handles. Now, each half of the tool is made out of what seems to be a very durable textured plastic that holds the rod and striker. It's also handles for the tool, and it makes a good surface for these rescue signals to be printed on. Each handle is sized nicely and makes the tool comfortable in my hand while being easy to hang on to while starting a fire. Printed on the outside of the tool we have the Alpine Rescue, SOS, Need Help, and Don't Need Help signals. Okay, the look and feel of this tool is similar to all the other tools in the Bear Grylls lineup. Between the two halves of this tool we have this orange rubber washer, similar to the washers used in garden hoses. This keeps the inside of the container from getting wet. To separate the two halves, simply grasp the tool firmly and pull them apart, just like this. So I immediately noticed the tight fit of these halves, which even makes the tool feel waterproof. Now the cool little surprise of this tool is this watertight black cap that covers a generous sized storage area on the back of the tool that's designed to hold some tinder. To open it, just grab the black cap firmly with a bit of paracord in your hand and pull out, just like this. Inside the container is a cotton ball, which makes really good tinder. There's also plenty of additional room in there, so I decided to add my own version of tinder, which is a cotton ball with a dab of petroleum jelly worked into one side of it. The petroleum jelly makes a nice fuel that the lit cotton ball easily ignites, which gives a bit more flame and extends the burn time of the cotton ball. But honestly, all of this is useless if the cap is not watertight. So you guessed it, so I had to go see for myself whether this tool would really keep the water out when submersed. So I loaded my cotton ball, took the Bear Grylls Fire Starter, and threw it into a watering trough. After a few minutes, I grabbed the fire starter out of the water and immediately took it over to a rock, removed my cotton ball, and as you can see, the cotton ball tinder with petroleum jelly quickly burst into flames that lasted for a good minute or so. So this confirms that the storage cap does keep tinder nice and dry. Now lighting a totally dry cotton ball with petroleum jelly is one thing, but it's another thing to light a fire from natural materials in the woods, especially after a day of rain. And that's exactly what we have to work with today. So let's go out back and see what tinder we can find out in the woods and see how this fire starter does in less than ideal conditions. Okay, so I had to get a little creative with tinder. We have some white birch around, and the peely bark on the outside usually makes some great tinder when it's dry, but this stuff is soaked. So I made slices in the bark and removed the outer layer, just like peeling an onion. Now the underbark is quite a bit drier, but not really crisp as I'd like. So I really felt like I needed to get some more tinder. But like I said, everything's soaked. So I found a deadfall branch that was leaning against another tree so it wasn't on the ground. I shaved off about 1/4 inch of the outer wood to get to some nice dry wood on the inside. Then I simply used my knife to slice some small shavings. So I found this rock outcrop and turned over a piece of flat stone to make a dry spot for our fire building material to sit on. Now I have to admit, it took about 2 minutes to get this thing going, but it really wasn't too bad considering how wet things are today. Now to get sparks and light a fire with this tool, you need to know 3 things. First, when this tool ships to you, there's a dark coating on the rod that needs to be scraped off a bit before it's going to spark good. Just know that you're probably not going to get a ton of sparks with your first few strokes. Second, make sure you angle your striker so the sharp edge on the bottom rubs against the rod. If you don't do this, you're going to get really frustrated with the striker and it's not going to throw many sparks. And finally, make sure that you hold your striker firm and stationary and pull the fire steel away from you instead of pushing the striker towards the tinder and kindling. This will ensure that your sparks land consistently in the same spot, which will help dry out and eventually ignite less than ideal tinder, like what I have to work with today. And if you push towards your tinder and kindling with your striker, you're likely to keep pushing your pile around, which can be frustrating and add to the number of strokes it takes to get your fire going. Okay, now let's talk about owner comments. Owners seem to really like the Bear Grylls fire starter and on average rate it well above 4 out of 5 stars for its innovative and rugged design, its convenient size, the generous size of the fire steel, comfortable handles, and the fact that it throws a nice amount of sparks. Many mention that they wish it would have come with larger paracord for neck carry, and a few feel that it's a bit too bulky, and some mention having trouble using the striker. While we rate the Bear Grylls fire starter at 4.5 stars out of 5, for its well thought out design, rugged build, the waterproof main and tinder compartments, its generously sized fire steel, the paracord lanyard that keeps the 2 halves from getting separated, and the fact that this fire starter does its job at getting fires going fast, even in less than ideal conditions. We take off 1/2 star because it would have been nice to have an adjustable lanyard system for neck carry or to attach this tool to things. And this tool can be really frustrating to use if you don't know to angle it and use the edge of the striker on the rod. Now for fire steel that's included with other Bear Grylls gear, check out my reviews of the Bear Grylls Ultimate Survival Kit, the Basic Survival Kit, the Ultimate Survival Knife, and the Bear Grylls Survival Tool Pack. If you'd like a really versatile and more compact fire starter that can be worn around your neck and includes a small diamond and ceramic knife sharpener, check out the SOG Combination Fire Starter and Knife Sharpener. But if you want a well-designed, rugged fire starter that's about indestructible and perfect for camping, backpacking, hunting, canoe camping, extreme adventures, emergency kits and bug-out bags, or for an affordable gift for someone you love, and an online street price of $11 sounds good to you, you can't go wrong with the Gerber Bear Grylls fire starter. So we've just taken a look at the Bear Grylls fire starter. For your convenience, I've included links to all the gear that I've mentioned in the video description on YouTube. So don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and for more gear reviews, survival tips, and survival news, check out ultimatesurvivaltips.com. And while you're there, grab our monthly survival e-mag, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter to get the latest news and be the first to hear about the great gear giveaway contests we have planned. Okay, this is David. I hope to see you on the other side. And remember, be prepared because you never know.